Welcome, Mocha Marvels. It is Keisha Boyd, your host of Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I am so glad to be back in the new year. And of course, we could not do this without who? My Cafe con Leche, my officially Jorge. Hi, honey.
Happy New Year to all of you Mocha Marvels, and to my partner in crime, the Thelma to my Louise, the Bonnie to my Clyde,
Yes.
my milk with the shake, all that.
The cookie to your crunch. Listen.
Yes, the cafe to my crunch.
Yes.
The rice to my crispy.
All of that. And
look,
so
much. The cafe in my leche.
Come on. I'm all of that and some. Listen, we have missed you all dearly. Yeah. Happy New Year. We do realize that January is almost over.
Yeah, and we came back 2 weeks early.
For you. Okay. We have had an amazing break, and just a time with our family and friends. And we've been working, although we're just now coming back on air for you all. We have been working behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So
and the thing is, like, I know we definitely have been working on our looks. It's so funny. It's like I almost feel like the Mocha Marvels, all of you in the Mochaverse, like you're getting like these New Year vibes. It's like getting two brand new looking hoes. We just showing the looks.
Yes. I see you with the light straight, baby. I see you looking.
Speaking of which, I was texting you some thirst trap pictures, and you have not made a comment.
I did comment.
Well, I have sent you some that I have not posted to social media because I was trying to get approval. I'm like, are these like scandalous or no?
No, they look great. They're a little thirsty, but they're cute. I love them, darling. So how's everything? How's my baby boy over there? Meaning my nephew, Logan.
Right. Well, first of all, we have some birthdays coming up. Speaking of nephews,
yes.
And but no, I'm super excited about the new year. Of course, Rona is hanging around still, and
I got bit by the Rona.
Right. Well, you know what? Like, this hoe needs to be evicted. I'm done with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, enough. And
it has been enough.
And it's just enough. Like, it's like, can we wrap this up already?
But you know what? The thing is, we're at a point now with this variant, the Omicron, the Omarion.
The Megatron, the Voltron.
That I think is going to be a situation where everybody is kind of it's going to be like a common cold where everybody's going to, probably,
so.
Kind of get it. And then it's kind of like a flu. I think it's going to be something like, that's the way the nurse explained it to me. It's like you walk into a room before you can walk into a room of 100 people and you had it, you may infect 10, but you walk into a room now, you're going to infect 40. That's how, contagious this Omarion.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Megatron, the Decepticon, like all that. No, we are not doctors. We are not scientists. We're not trying to spread misinformation about anything like that. We're just saying, like, we're ready to keep it moving. And
keep it moving, honey, for real.
We need to start the eviction process.
ASAP. Okay.
Of this.
And she not getting her deposit back.
No, because she left the place a mess.
A mess.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we got to go back and clean all this up. We got to replace carpets. No. But anyways, well, here's some exciting news for the Mocha Marvels in our Mochaverse. We are going to be changing our time slot. Now, I know that everyone's used to always seeing us always on Friday mornings, but now we're going to be moving over to Saturday morning, along with all of the other shows on the Mocha Media Network. And that is, of course, just to be available to more people, because it's a lot of our Mocha Marvels are at work when we're on air, and we're just trying to, we are just trying to feed the needs, of the people. So
the people said they wanted.
fine. You want Saturday? Right. We got you. We're gonna be on Saturday.
So thank you, Mocha Marvels, for weighing in, because we did hear quite a few people like, we'd love to tune in, but I'm at work and I can't do this or that.
Right.
And that's been for quite some time. It didn't just start happening.
Yeah.
People were telling us that. So, our producer, fearless producers said, you know what, let's do it. Let's put our shows on Saturdays. That way people can be engaged. People can watch the show live and be a part of it. So we are so excited about our new times, our new day rather.
Yeah.
The new times, they're still going to be on this at the same times, but on Saturday. So I'm excited.
I know. Because we're still going to deliver, everything that's happening, in Black Hollywood and entertainment. And of course, all of your piping hot topics. So
absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of that, we have so much to talk about today, but
first, coffee. Oh, I haven't said that in a while.
All right, Mocha Marvels, welcome back. We are here, and it is time for this week's steamer.
And just so everybody knows, you are not watching the Nature Channel. We're not a couple of corralling in these woods.
It's just us.
It's just us.
Coordinated and all. You got to coordinate.
So are we ready for everything that's happening in Black Hollywood and entertainment?
Yeah.
Well, here we go. First up, we have Will Smith, Jennifer Hudson, and The Harder They Fall are winners in the AAFCA Awards, and I know there's a longer word for that.
The African American Film Critics Association.
Bam! See, that's why we do this. Tag team in effect. Well, yes. All right. You can go to deadline.com and see the full list of winners, but congratulations to all of them. It's like award season. Hello.
Yes,
right. Let's get this on and popping. Now, I know, of course, Jennifer Hudson starred in Respect, Will Smith and King Richard, which I saw and I was blown away. And of course, we've been talking about The Harder They Fall all season.
Absolutely.
With all the multiple topics that is involved with the whole program. But anyways, if you want to see the full list of winners, you can go to deadline.com and see all of them there.
And speaking of too, as well, for award season, NAACP just released their nominations to Jorge.
Ooh.
And yes, all the black magic. Right? Okay. And I'm so excited because one of the projects I was working on with Fox Sports Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp was nominated for Best Podcast. And so I'm super excited about that. And there, go to NAACPimageawards.net. You can vote there because obviously the public kind of votes for the winners. But go there, check it out. It's the 53rd annual NAACP Image Awards. So, like I said, all the black magic.
And the thing is, and what I find so outstanding about all this is that every year with all of these award shows that are catered to the Mochaverse, the list of content, films, shows, talent, it just gets longer and longer. You know what I mean? It used to be maybe it was 3, maybe 4 or 5, but now it's kind of okay, we gotta delete some.
You gotta recognize the greatness and all the black excellence, honey. It cannot be denied. Period.
No. So that's pretty exciting.
Sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of exciting, so here we go. Insecure is coming to an end, but Issa Rae is on to another project. She's partnering with Google Music. So, so basically what they're doing is creating a program, of course, to, propel women in music, Black women in music. And you know what? This is what I find interesting. First of all, this is the first time I've heard of Google Radio, okay? But what I find very interesting, we already know that Black women dominate the charts.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, there is more.
I mean, it's, you know what, Issa Radio can, like, you see that, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Issa Radio, I'm just glad to see, you know, her just continuing to move forward. Insecure, I mean, those are some big shoes to fill, you know what I mean? And so for her to spin off into this, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this creators program that she's doing with Google. But I think it's great. I really do. Because, you know, sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, we've heard this story before. We've seen this story before. But I feel like, so what? There's never enough of telling stories about a culture or women, or you can always continue to tell those stories. So I'm excited to see what happens with it.
And music is the universal language.
Yes, it is.
Like, I don't trust people who be like, oh, I don't really like listen to music. I'm like, ooh, you got problems.
Right. Who are you? Are you normal?
Right. They're the special kind of folk.
Invitation, please.
And speaking of special folk, our forever First Lady Michelle Obama, the boss woman. Well, she is starting a new program. She is going to mobilize. And you know what? Not that she is out there trying to. I know she's going to mobilize. And I don't even think it's just going to be 1 million. This woman is going to mobilize more than 1 million voters. I mean, we got these 2022 elections coming up. And, you know, basically, this is the hashtag, fight for our vote.
Yes.
Put them up. Put them up.
Right. We're going to have to duke it out because people are trying to suppress voters, you know, whether, you know, it's moving precincts or making these new rules. You can't do this or that. Like I mean, we just have to be more careful and diligent about how we move and the things that we put our energy into. And so long ago, you know, we had to fight for our right to vote. And now you're trying to control how we vote, if we can vote, and changing the rules. And that's just not, it's just not going to work. It's not going to fly.
And what better person, you know, to be out there, because I mean, first of all, her approval rating is through the roof. And like, it's Michelle Obama. It's Michelle Obama. That's like the definition of Black girl magic, like, period.
What? Like, she is just it, okay? I mean, like, all I see is that inauguration outfit, honey. She is always
so we got to fight for our vote, and that means all of you in the Mocha-verse need to make sure that you jump on that with us.
That's right.
We're gonna be right there doing all that. So congratulations and way to go, Michelle Obama. All right, so Nene Leakes. Well, we all know that her husband Greg passed away, died of cancer. According to people.com, though, she's still very open to love, and she should be, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so anyway, she's been dating a designer. Oh, please help me out, Miss Producer. Oh, I want to say this right. Xiaomi. Woo! I got it. The last name.
Xiaomi?
What's the last name?
Xiaomi? What's the last name?
Xiaomi Neely? Help me out, producer.
I don't know.
Naomi Sila Seal.
Naomi Sila Seal. Thank you, producer.
We tried.
Naomi Sila.
Thank you, producer.
Anyway, whatever his name may be, he cute and he's handsome.
Yeah, and you need
an icon.
Everyone deserves to be loved. And
I mean, losing a spouse. I mean, I mean, I can only imagine because I've seen people go through it. But that I'm glad that she's still open to love and that she still wants to move forward with her life. Because a lot of times people, you know, get into a very depressed state and they think they'll never find love again, or, you know,
or they feel guilty, right? Like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yes. That is very big. That people feel guilty and that they can't and they shouldn't, or it's a dishonor to the person they were. But that's not the case.
Yeah,
that's not the case.
Yeah, and if you go to people.com, she is quoted in saying that, you know, despite losing Greg last year, that she's really happy and in a great place as she begins starting this next chapter of her life. And you know what? Like dating a designer, I'm on like, girl, like, could you imagine the looks on a daily basis?
The looks, honey. The looks. Okay.
So go get you some love and Nene Leakes.
That's right.
I said what I said. Go get some love.
Yes.
All right. And making a return right now, the new tennis season has started and there has been some scandals on the side. But what we're going to talk about is the return of Naomi Osaka. Now, last year, she ruffled some feathers because she decided that she needed to take a mental health break. And in the very beginning, the sports world was like shocked and like, what is your problem? You make all this money. You're a star athlete. You can't just be like, I'm out, whatever. She stood her ground. Mm-hmm. And these folks quickly had to pivot. Yeah. And now she's back. She's looking good. I actually saw a couple of her matches and her whole just demeanor, I'm like, I mean, first of all, she's just launching missiles across, the court. And like, she took a break and now she's back for the jump off and she's looking good, feeling great, playing awesome. Like, yeah, let a girl take a break.
Yes. And she deserves that. Nobody can control her body, her mind, her spirit. And so if that's what she felt like she needed, then great. I'm glad to see that she, did not let money or fame or feeling
pressure,
the pressure get to her, literally. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So,
and the Non-Melanated Hollywood Association of the Press. Oh, did I just say that?
You did.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It's all good. And speaking of all good, yay! It's gonna be a homecoming right when we thought that Madea was retired.
Madea?
Yes, well, Tyler Perry, just go to GamePeople.com, has the story. Tyler Perry is bringing Madea out of retirement. And here's the reason. We just need more comedies.
Okay.
And Madea will make you laugh.
And Madea will make us laugh a lot, okay? And he can laugh all the way to the bizzle. The bank, okay?
Yeah, right.
Madea has a huge following, and Madea is just funny. She's like that relatable auntie that we all have in the community of, especially Black people. So I'm excited about Madea coming back. Why not?
I mean, yeah, right. You almost didn't want her to go away, but I just love the way all this kind of like happens, and there's nothing like a good comeback too. So I'm excited to see that. It's called Homecoming, and thank you, Tyler Perry, because we could use some more Madea in our lives right now.
Oh my God, is Madea going to be like going to an HBCU homecoming in this movie? I would just fall out.
Don't.
Oh my gosh.
Look. I'm just here to report the news.
Oh, I cannot
not to give anyone any spoilers, but could you imagine?
Honey, lit is what I would imagine.
You thought Beyonce had a great homecoming.
Listen. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, I can't wait to see what's gonna pan out with that. And now let's talk about a Black author that just launched her book series, and this is really great. And oh my God, I'm gonna get on her. These books. It's for children between 3 and 7, and basically it's all about dealing with the pandemic and pandemic grief. You know what I mean? But like, so that way, like your children can digest all this.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Her name is Jenny De La Cruz. And so that's super exciting. I love that. We had another, a friend of the show, Celia Riccio, who launched a book earlier, like this year. And so again, it's super wonderful that people are taking, what's happening now and finding ways to reach, like I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine, Keisha, when you and Chance have to educate Honor about certain things, finding the words and, okay, well, how do I communicate this to someone in this, this, you know what I mean? Like there isn't like a rule book, or a handbook that says, oh, well, it's okay to say it this way. And everyone's child is different. But, there's something about, when you have illustrations with words and, someone with that same color background helping you tell a story. I think that's pretty awesome. So congratulations to Jenny De La Cruz. She is a Haitian American author. So again, in that verse, come on. Yes, pandemic agree. Because we, you know about that? I think we all may need to read the book.
For real. Okay.
Not just the kids. Not just the kids. Not just the kids. All right. And I know we were talking about election season coming up, but it's like finally, well, not even finally, but our government, the Senate has done something, has given us some flowers. And so, I appreciate that. They recently just passed a bill to posthumously award the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor to Emmett Till and Mamie Till Mobley. Now, Emmett Till was the young man that was murdered in Chicago by non-melanated folk. And so his mother wanted to make sure that everyone saw, how the brutal murder of her son. And
in Mississippi, actually.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago, murdered in Mississippi.
Yes. And so it's so thank you, US Senate, for recognizing that sacrifice that family had to make.
And if you haven't seen the Women of the Struggle film featuring Mamie Till, the mother of Emmett Till, go see that, or go stream it, Hulu, whatever.
Yeah.
It is a really good film, and it really gives you some detail and background on the death of Emmett Till, and just it's a remarkable
and the thing is, he's 14 years old, and and this is now happening 66 years after his death. And this is why it's so important, again, with voting and all this critical race theory, what happened.
Yep.
And we need to make sure that we don't delete things from history out of just for the convenience, because it may be uncomfortable, and because some people don't want to be held to account.
Exactly. When they most definitely have to be held accountable for the actions.
So, and on that note, we are being held accountable to our producer and our time frame for Steamers, and that is everything that is happening in Black Hollywood and entertainment. So happy to be back in 2022, Rona free.
Yes. All right, Mocha Marvels, stay tuned. We'll be back with more Mocha in the morning. Well, we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. Stay tuned. We have Piping Hot coming right up.
Piping hot.
All right, Mocha Marvels, welcome back to Mocha in the Morning, where we're adding a little flavor to your morning blend. I'm your host once again, Miss Keisha Boyd, and it is time for Piping Hot. And of course, for the new year, hey, it's a new year, same tribe. My sisters are with me for Piping Hot. Let me introduce so we can get going. Miss Kenya Woodard.
Happy Friday and Happy New Year, everybody. Good to be back.
All right, Miss Kia Shakoa.
What's up? Happy New Year. So excited to be back.
And Miss Liz Everett.
Hello, everybody. Time to slay. It's a brand new year.
All right. Okay. Let's hop into our topics for today. Sadly, we have lost a fashion icon with Andre Leon Talley, who passed away recently. And you know what? I honestly can say that I didn't know much about him until I started doing this show. And my sisters, Liz and Jorge were like, oh, this person, that person, and all the drama he had too before. But it's still a fashion loss, right, Liz?
It's a huge fashion loss. Honestly, I have to say that I stayed up and shed real tears and posted on all my social media accounts, which that in itself will tell you that it was like a state of emergency. He was a forerunner, is really, we couldn't have had Virgil Abloh if we hadn't had Andre Leon Talley, and that's the truth. All of the designers that are, so huge right now. I mean, he interned for one of the original Vogue editors, who is Deanna Vreeland. I mean, he really laid the ground for Black people in fashion. I mean, there were a lot of other people that were doing it, but he specifically made a headway in the boardroom. He first joined Vogue in 1983, so he was an editor at large, but he also served styling Barack Obama and Michelle Obama during the presidency. He has like 8 different filmographies. He's published books. He worked in Russia. I mean, he did a lot for Black people in fashion in the boardroom and really became an icon in every way. And so the loss is huge for us. And for me as a little girl, knowing that he was from a small town, in North Carolina, and his grandfather was a sharecropper, my grandfather was a sharecropper, I saw a lot of identity in this man who, went on to make it and have self-respect and came from what others would say was nothing.
Yeah. Well, definitely, sending prayers and thoughts to his family and friends and everybody who's affected by his loss. And we certainly thank him for his contributions. Thank you so much, Liz, for that. All right. Over the holidays, we witnessed some breakups, some shocking breakups for a lot of them for me, some not. And you know what, Kia? All right. So
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, just wait. We'll start with Jason and Lisa Bonet. And then we had Megan Good and Devin Franklin and Chanel Iman and Sterling Shepard. So I was shocked at Jason and Lisa Bonet. Like, I love the two of them. They look good together. Like, I was like, what? I was like, I thought, come on, what happened? What happened, Kenya?
I don't know, but Jason, if you're seeing this, baby, if you need a shoulder, I'm here. I just want you to know that. Look, I'm not gonna even mess around. Look, I love Lisa Bonet, but it's over. Okay. And looks like Jason's back on the market. So, but seriously though, look, this is a couple, they've been together a very long time, 17 years total, 5 married, 2 kids. They have got a history. Okay. Yeah. And, unfortunately for them, things just kind of didn't work out. And that's what happens with a lot of couples. And then when you think about, they're in Hollywood, movie stars, TV, all of this. My understanding is that they were kind of going in different directions. I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to mean, but, here we are now with, announcement of their divorce. And it's really sad when you really know their story and their background. Jason Momoa, he would gush about her in TV interviews about how, she was his crush and he was in love with her before he even met her. And then when he finally got the chance to do that, he just couldn't believe his luck, that Lisa Bonet was his woman. And he always had, really kind words and, just gushed over her. So it's really sad to see how this
he was living in his car, eating beans out the can.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I gotta say, I do love their announcement, if you will, that was posted. That was pretty classy. I did find that to be.
What, Kia? What is it?
I'm so tired of these classy, raggedy announcements. We know y'all not happy. We know, let's move on to the next couple who broke up that no one saw coming. Devon Franklin and Megan Good. We sat and looked at the sun together with his arm around me. And then we had somebody take a picture. And then we said how we had wonderful years together. And okay, I'm pretty sure that's how it went when he presented you with divorce papers. It was all this romantic, yes, we should. No, please, people, stop. Y'all were mad. Y'all were angry at each other. You were over it. I'd rather people just be honest than giving these flowery. I mean, is anybody else annoyed by the flowery announcements?
You don't think it was a conscious uncoupling?
Your divorce announcement shouldn't read like your wedding invite. Stop it.
Well, what do you want them to say, Kia? What would you rather they say?
I'm pissed because he ain't put the damn top on the toothpaste And
we
he
got
and
annoying.
like, what you
It got
wanted to say?
annoying. It got annoying. The pandemic was hard. These kids are frustrating us. We're better as friends. We can co-parent. Let's do this. Like, I would rather that at this point. Or just don't say anything at all. Just don't give these flowery announcements with the nice calligraphy. Like, who are y'all fooling?
Well, they're not hosting divorce parties.
The second one of these people gets another partner, we're going to see a whole different side of these people with comments and shady posts on Instagram and social media.
I don't think so.
The only person who might not do that is Lisa Bonet, because she's Lisa Bonet. But Megan Good, she seems petty. And she's blonde now.
She is not. Listen, Megan already out here with the thirst trap pics. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. That's not a good
But
sign.
listen, maybe some would say that she was suppressing her real self to be married to this pastor.
Some would say that he settled on her.
Ooh.
Not the S word.
The S word. And I'm not even being funny. People are saying that he lowered what he wanted to meet her where she was at. She raised to what he wanted to meet him somewhere halfway. I mean, that's really what people are saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people are saying. But like, listen, like my daddy always say, you got to do what's best for your address. They however they got together, they decided to be with each other. People grow apart. People become other beings. And maybe she was tired of wearing stockings to church. Okay, listen. I don't know. All right, moving on. Tiffany Haddish was arrested in Atlanta for DUI at 4 a.m. in the morning last Friday. And people are showing her support because she was pulled over because she had an improper stop, and they believe that she was high. And I don't know. When I see DUI, I immediately think they were drinking and driving. But then when you say, oh, they were high, I kind of like, oh, it was just weed. Like, I don't know if that's right or wrong. They're still under the influence. I know. But this is what happened. This is how it goes. Liz, are you with showing support for her regardless? She was falling asleep at the wheel. Hell, I could fall asleep at the wheel and I ain't had nothing. So bless her heart.
I'm a person who has to be careful because I will fall asleep at the wheel in the daytime. So if I'm somewhere and I just feel too tired, you'll find me getting a hotel room all the time because I'm like, I'm just too tired. I can't do it. I kind of feel like you. When I saw DUI, I thought, oh my God, night out partying, blah, blah, blah. It was none of that. And I'll be honest, like, I am showing support in the way of like just understanding where she's coming from emotionally and knowing how emotions can really just overtake you. Kia, I just cut it out. But I'm a person who tries to understand the emotional standpoint of where people are at. I don't think it was right, but
I mean, she'd lost her grandmother, her dogs, somebody else,
one of her other mentors, and Bob Saget.
Yeah, she suffered some loss. But Kia, what were you gonna say? I see your Facebook.
Tiffany Haddish has a drinking problem. We can give her all the grace in the world because you lost your grandmother, 2 dogs died, your neighbor's not feeling well, Bob Saget went to glory. All of that is very, very sad. Everybody on this show has had people pass away. We have lost parents. We have lost friends. We didn't get drunk and get in our cars and drive. No, we did. We're classy. We drank at home in the dark, like most people do when they've lost. You put the bottle to your mouth, you turn the lights on, and you turn on Netflix. You don't go and endanger other people's lives. Also, this is not the first incident. We all remember, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? She had that stand-up comedy show for New Year's Eve, and she was so drunk, she couldn't even perform, drinking champagne straight from the bottle. And people were over it and just left. She bombed that show. Did she lose anybody then? Because I could have sworn at that point she was at the top of the career. So what was the excuse then for drinking so badly that people walked out of your show and demanded a refund?
Yeah. These are true facts.
I don't understand it.
It also calls into question what was the real reason behind her and Common's breakup.
You ain't said nothing but a word.
Asking questions.
That's a good one, Kenya. Come on
Come
now,
on, Kenya.
preach.
I mean,
Kenny, you
I'm
done
just
threw
saying.
everybody off now. Now
Right.
we all sitting here like, well, oh, we was blaming Common. Now
We were.
Right. Listen, he was the common denominator in all the top ladies that he's dated, right? So it was easy to be like, oh, well, he the one with the issue. Well, maybe in this instance, I don't know.
I don't know, but
other
listen.
incidences where she's been drunk or high and she just has had a really good PR team who's been able to kind of cover it up or sweep under the rug or rushed her out of a party or an event and no one said anything about it. But when you get pulled over for a DUI, people, if you're feeling upset or sad or depressed, drink at home. It's okay to drink at home. There's nothing wrong with it. They deliver liquor now. You don't have to go out and get it. You can DoorDash it. You can Uber Eats it, whatever. Call an Uber. You can do all these things. You don't have to endanger other people to drink or null your sadness.
You're right. Everything she just said is absolutely right. Like, don't endanger other people's lives, because obviously we've seen how this could have been very bad. We see it every day on the news. Very bad. So I agree. Okay. Listen, Cardi B is opening up about having suicidal thoughts. I was just watching the news actually, and they were showing that suicide rates among boys has gone up 14%, and among women and girls it's gone up, I think, 4%. So while it's not high, it's still a situation. And to think, you would think that someone like Cardi B, who has everything she can possibly want, why would you even contemplate suicide? But we've obviously seen that celebrities all, have committed suicide, right? But what's behind these feelings, Kenya, of Cardi B feeling like she just is pushed to the limit?
Well, I mean, Cardi's human too, right? I think people tend to think that celebrities have this shield or some kind of immunity against BS and negativity, and it's just not true. She's a person. She has feelings. She projects this bombastic personality, but that doesn't mean she isn't vulnerable to people being nasty to her. And in this situation, really nasty. Tasha K accused her of having a STD. She accused her of cheating on her husband, all kinds of terrible things. And, Cardi had just had enough. She was like, look, we just need to take this to court because you won't stop. The lies keep coming. You won't retract them. And then not only that, you also have to understand that when these kind of things come out about celebrities, whether they're true or not, they affect their business, right? So Cardi may have been in negotiations to represent some companies on a couple of things. And then they see these stories come out and it's like, well, what's going on? And then she has to answer to that. Come on. So I'm not surprised to see her, taking this kind of action. I was, I did feel something, for her regarding being suicidal, because people tend to think that just because she is Cardi B, she is supposed to just put up with whatever and take whatever. And that's not true.
True. Very true. Kenya,
so really quick. So allegedly, the blogger Tasha K, and I actually have watched a lot of Tasha K's streams. I stopped being a fan of hers because she's very gutter mouth, and that's not something everybody wants to hear 24/7. But Tasha K alleged that Cardi B had herpes. And Tasha K's commenters were going to social media and posting on the pictures of her kissing her daughter, saying, how could you kiss your daughter with herpes? You're going to give her herpes. And that's where the depression came in at. Then when it got out that she possibly had this incurable STD, she was apparently dropped from movie roles where it required her to be kissing or sexual close to another actor. And she was dropped from those films. So all of this went from just this small, stupid blogger and spread like a balloon. So of course you have depression. If you have it going throughout Hollywood and the music industry, that you have an STD, you used to be a prostitute and also the kind of crazy stuff, that really does affect your business. Pepsi may be a lot of things, but they're not going to let you represent their brand if you have all of this nasty stuff. These big brands that love Cardi, there was it some kid's fruit brand she had to, I'm sorry, I have to stop talking now.
No, keep going.
You want
to? But no, Tasha K really was very reckless in the very beginning of her YouTube stardom. Now she's gotten more professional, but back then she wasn't. And she has not taken these videos down. She has gotten 3 cease and desist. and have not taken these videos down. Refuses to.
Wow. Well, listen. Sending up, prayers and thoughts to all of them, and those who are experiencing depression. If you are and contemplating suicide, please reach out and get some help. We'll be more than happy to drop a number for you if you are looking for some help, if you're contemplating suicide. Now, I pastors have a lot of power and can do a lot of things in church. Okay, they can, put some holy oil, some baptizing water, some pool water, some tap water, whatever you want to be baptized in. But what you will not do is put your spit on me. Okay, you can try to lay me out and put a sheet over me. You will not put your bodily fluids upon me. Okay, now, Pastor Michael Todd did a recent video, and apparently he used spit to make the demonstration. Now, I have chosen not to watch the video, but anybody watch this video and know what we're talking about?
The more you keep saying water, I just want to vomit. Like,
I'm
the
just
thought of fluid, period. Now, like,
so did he take a loogie and just slap on somebody's head? And what happened? Liz.
I can't. I'm very weak stomached. I can't. No, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
Kia,
ma'am.
what did the man do?
Here's the issue. He could have licked his fingers and done this. That's gross in itself. But what he did was he dropped his hand low and hocked the loogie into his hand. He hocked a loogie into his hand and then spread it like Miracle Whip all over his brother's face. And thank God that was his brother. Imagine if he did it to an unsuspecting parishioner. If that was one of us, it would have been like, what you doing? You better stop. You better get out my face with that stuff.
I don't give a damn if it was my brother, sister, cousin, my son. So what was the point? What was the point? This ain't got nothing to do. Jesus and God ain't have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I think what we have is we have a new era of Christian influencers and Christian pastors who want to be seen rather than spread the word of God. It used to be the televangelists like, Creflo and them, and now it's evolved into something more where they're looking for clips to go viral. They're not looking to actually to save people. And that was his point, that faith is nasty.
Just saw that too, and I
was
like,
that his
no.
point? Like, I'm not even. I had to stop being funny, Kia, and being a Kia. Like, was that really his point? If that was his point, then I have a massive problem with that. I can't even be funny right now.
Yeah.
Faith is not nasty. Faith may not be how you want it to look, but faith is. I don't like faith and the word nasty being matched together. See, now I have to be serious, and I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable to be serious. Like, somebody else go.
Oh my God.
Faith is nasty. I have never heard of such a thing. Never heard of such a thing. So that makes it even more like, really, dude? And I told y'all, I watched one of his videos before and not even knowing who he was. And I was like, oh, who is this guy? I don't really vibe with him. And I certainly don't vibe with him now. Like, for real. Faith is nasty. Who said faith had to be nasty? Faith may be tough. Faith may be trying, and it may be unforeseen, but it is not nasty. It is not nasty. No. Leveling
no
up.
No matter what he says or how he cleaned it up, he's making it worse. No matter what he says to justify what he did, you are making it worse. You were already bad when you had the video saying that, your husband hitting you was not a reason for divorce. If anything is a reason for divorce, it's your husband beating you. That's a reason for divorce.
Hello? If you're trying to stay alive, no.
Right.
So yeah, he is all the way canceled. Apologies and all, he is canceled. I don't care. What and the fact that he said, "Oh, I watched the video and it was disgusting." You did it. You didn't. Why did you have to go watch the video? You did it. You know exactly what happened.
Fitting his vibe.
Don't y'all put no collection in that man plate. All right, listen. Speaking of collections and money. Oh, wait, I skipped something. Let's talk about Rihanna. So Rihanna pulled Ari Fletcher's Savage Fenty brand ambassadorship due to some domestic violence. So speaking of domestic violence, Liz, what is going on with Ari Fletcher and this deal, and what's happening?
It's amazing to me the way that people dismiss domestic violence. and the way that they dismiss violence against women and violence against men. We have to be honest that domestic violence goes both ways. But again, going back to, and you being in celebrity PR, you know this very well, and we have just talked about this. Kia and Kenya both brought up really great points about how rumors and negative sound bites can affect somebody's business and can affect somebody's brand. And Ari apparently said that something like she needs her man to beat her for her to feel feel good. I don't know what it was, but you cannot keep having such low self-esteem that you truly believe that somebody beating you and touching you inappropriately and whether even verbal abuse, you know what I mean? You can't keep thinking that that is love from that person. Love covers and love serves, you know what I mean? So it can't be a shock to her that she's probably not only going to lose this deal, but other deals, because people can't have that on their business and on their brand. And also, like, who can publicly say that they support domestic violence being okay? Like that's crazy. And people need to go back and take a real branding class, because branding is not a logo, boo. Branding is all of the senses coming to life, moving forward and toward. So when your brand doesn't match up with that brand that's paying you, because you're supposed to be an influencer and an ambassador for them, you're supposed to showcase their brand in a great light, you can't be shocked when you no longer have deals.
That's right. Kia?
Yeah, I mean, I second everything that Liz has to say, of course. And just to bring it into the Mocha in the Morning, we see how everybody in the show carries themselves in specific ways, except for me, because I don't have to represent anybody. I'm not going to be in front of nobody's podium. I'm not going to be representing nobody's brand. I can do what I want to do and say what I want to say, because I am behind the scenes and have always been that way. I think we have taken the word influencer and mixed it with the word celebrity. These two things are not the same, because Ari Fletcher, I think she dated some rapper. So now she's like, oh, she's a social media influencer. No, she's a rapper's girlfriend who has an Instagram. That does not mean she needs to be representing people's brands, because we've seen a lot of these influencer girls get on their lives and just start saying anything they want and oh this and oh that. Next thing they know, they're like, well, I don't understand why I was dropped, and I don't understand why this happened. What do you mean you don't understand? If you were
because they didn't have the business and branding acumen to begin with. And there's a difference between being someone who wants attention. Boo, attention doesn't last, respect does. And let's be clear, when you're talking about business and branding, that you have to bring something to the table. And there's a difference between being an influencer and a woman of influence.
It's something funny, really quick, that I always love people saying, I'm dying for this to happen. If Instagram disappeared tomorrow, what would all these girls do for a living? What would they be doing for a career?
Waiting for MySpace to boost back up so they can have another place to post their thirst traps.
Right.
That's why I always, in the back of the brand, when I'm working, styling people and those kind of things, I understand you fine, boo. I get it. I know your boobies big. I know your thighs thick. Woohoo! So great. But if all you want to do is be underneath the hashtag hot girls of Instagram, we got a problem, because you need to have a purpose for what you're doing.
That's right. All right. So we got to wrap up quickly. But speaking of social media, our Black TikTokers are not getting their checks cut, and they have to work harder. Okay. Forbes put out a list of top TikTokers, top earners of TikTok. And there were, y'all see this? 0 Black people on the list. Now, how many trends have our Black TikTokers started? How many dances? How many songs have we boosted? And you mean to tell me that 0 of these people are earning top dollar? Kenya, what is the problem? What needs to happen?
There's a lot of things wrong here. Namely that first, excuse me, this is just kind of compiling on problems that Black creators are having with TikTok and social media overall. We kind of drive trends on social media, just like we do in everyday life. And unfortunately, we're just not getting our due. Remember a couple of years ago, there was a huge brouhaha about Black creators, their excuse me, things they were coming up with, the dances, skits, all these things were being appropriated and stolen from them is what I'll say. And excuse me, they weren't being given proper credit for the things that they were creating on social media, on TikTok. And so now here we are with this list that Forbes has come up with. There's not one Black creator on there, and that could be attributed to a number of things. It's very well known, it's not a secret. White creators, they get more money. Brands throw money at them for doing or copying the things that Black creators have already initiated, right? It's really screwed up. That's one of the issues. The other issue is that a lot of white creators, they get a light shown on them because they're doing something that a Black TikTok creator or someone else has already put forth. And so they get all of this hype, and the dollars follow them, the followers come, and all of this, and no one really bothers to check out why they're popular in the first place. So it's a lot going on here. The other thing is that brands, I just fell into a thread about this not too long ago, where brands are still, because we're like, so many years now deep into influencers and the money that, comes with being an influencer and all that. Brands are still shortchanging Black creators against white creators. They're still offering really terrible deals. They don't want to pay like they're paying white creators. It's just a whole mess. I'm not really too surprised to see this at all.
Yeah, and they still appropriate the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Or what I'm saying, like they still misappropriate, or right, is that correct? The culture, and they get paid for what we create.
Right.
Like how many years, how long have we, how long do we have to continue to do that? You know what I'm saying? That happens in every industry. It's happened in fashion. It happens in music. It just happens in all the industries. And we're just supposed to be okay with that. But once again,
well, they hide it underneath that saying, well, it's just business.
Right. Yeah.
And I think often because Black content creators don't know enough about copyright, don't know enough about, trademark law and all those kind of things. And also don't necessarily know to hire a PR team. A lot of white content creators, they start early, hiring content creators, or not hiring content creators, hiring PR teams, knowing how to reach out to people, having, a dad that owns a big company, so they know how to position themselves and those kind of things. And it's a shame how much harder Black content creators, and honestly, people of color, when it comes to content creators, have to work as a whole.
And also, I think it's very interesting when you look at the white creators. As soon as their kids, it seems like, gets like 2 viral videos, now the parents are quitting their jobs, managing them and trying to get all these deals. Black parents were like, if you don't get out my face with this video, like, that's great. You got 20 million people to view your video. I'm so happy for you. Please move so I can finish doing everything else I need to do.
How does that equate to the light bill?
Exactly. Like, that's great. You have 2 million videos, but
yeah,
it's not paying anything right now. So I think it's just a different, it's a huge difference. So yeah.
All right, ladies, we got to wrap up. We've been talking for a minute. Of course, always, it was a great time chatting with you all. Thank you so much for being with me for Piping Hot. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Mocha Marvel, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Mocha in the Morning and take a look at this week's Mocha Minute.
Welcome back, Mocha Marvels. It's time for our Mocha Moment. Now, we want you to share all your Mocha moments with us. So if there's something special happening, a birthday, anniversary, an accomplishment, just tag us at Mocha Morning Show, and we will be more than happy to share your Mocha moment with our Mochaverse. And this week's Mocha moment is what, Keisha?
This week's Mocha Moment, they're my babies. Honor my son and my baby look, my dog, my Labrador, my Boxador rather, Nibbles. I tagged Target in a picture of them because they're super cute, and Target actually responded. So take a look at this week's Mocha moment of my baby.
Oh my goodness, Honor and Nibbles, they're influencers now.
Yes. Hey. All right, Mocha Marvels. This is our first show back of the new year, and we're so glad that you were here with us this week. Jorge, what a show.
I know, man, that piping hot was deep, girl.
Listen, you know what? Piping hot is amazing. I love having my sisters with me because we talk about so many different things, and just having their different voices and everybody's personality is so needed. But yeah, Piping Hot was awesome.
But listen, don't forget Mocha Marvels. So we'll be back next week, same time, but in February, we are moving to our new Saturday morning time slot, still at 10 a.m., still live, along with the rest of the shows on the Mocha Media Network, which are the Fab Lab with Liz Everett and Stephanie J, and the Valtrenda Show, your headquarters for a melanated mental health with your host, Valtrenda. All the shows are coming back in February, new time slot. So Saturday is going to turn into like must-see TV for everybody.
That's right. Tune into the Mocha Media Network. We got all the shows back to back to back. Sit back.
And we back.
Listen, share the shows, join us, share with your friends, invite your friends. We want them to be a part of our Mocha Marvel universe. Get them introduced to all of the shows. We certainly appreciate you. If you need us, hit us up on all the things. Mocha Morning Show on all of the socials. Make sure you are sharing your Mocha moments, all that good stuff. We want to hear about it. We want you a part of our show. Drop us a note. Let us know how you enjoyed today.
With much great respect, we are saying
bye.
See you on next week.
Get you some animal print in your life. Some animal print in your life.
Ooh, I feel like someone's stalking me right now.
Oh my goodness, who is it?